A clang drowned out the silence as Arthur's mother dropped her fork onto the plate. Alice. What? Reynolds! Arthur isn't even 4 yet. No. Besides, you said if our son is an augmenter, you'd be able to teach him. Reynolds. I also never expected our son to be this much of a prodigy in mana manipulation. Who has ever heard of an awakening at the age of 3? Alice. But that means he'll have to leave home. He's only 4, Reynolds. We can't have our baby leave home this early. Reynolds. You don't get it. When I observe his body while he meditates, I can't help but feel this is natural for him. Alice, honey, I'm holding my son back by trying to teach him something he can do in his sleep. Thus began his parents' quarrel. They went back and forth, repeating their initial points. Mother saying he was too young. Father saying they needed to let him reach his full potential, blah blah. In the meantime, Arthur was playing a game of war with his food. Arthur thought, the peas attacking for the mother empire, while the carrots of the father nation desperately defending their land. Finally, his parents settled down and his father asked him, Reynolds, Art, this concerns you, so you have a say in this as well. How would you feel going to a big city and having a teacher? Arthur thought, fantastic. I applaud the effort for trying to make this fair, but you do realize you're trying to make a 4-year-old make a decision that will ultimately change his life, right? Trying to conclude the argument, Arthur said, Arthur, can I at least try meeting some mentors and have them see if I need to be tutored or not? Silence. Arthur thought, did I step on a landmine? Was I not supposed to be this articulate? Are they mad because I didn't choose a side? Having no confidence in keeping a poker face, he looked down and waited. Thankfully, none of his fears were on their minds. His mother finally spoke quietly, Alice. We'll at least formally have his mana core and channels tested. We can figure out what to do from there. His father nodded in agreement. They began preparations the next day. Arthur had assumed they'd go to a nearby town, but he was wrong. They were preparing for a 3-week-long journey on a carriage through the Grand Mountains to a city called Xyrus. A book popped into his mind. He recalled reading about a floating city built by elite conjurers housing the most prestigious mage academy. Both city and academy were named Xyrus. Arthur thought, how is it possible to keep land afloat? Magnetism? Different gravity? Anyway, this journey was going to be long. Times like these made him wish for modern transportation. To reach the city, they'd use a designated teleportation gate in the mountains. Otherwise, it would take months to reach the gate below the floating city near the border of Sapin and Darv. His father pushed for going now because his ex-party members, the Twin Horns, 3 augmenters, 2 conjurers, were heading to Xyrus. Traveling with them meant protection against bandits and wild animals. While his parents packed necessities, Arthur packed his wooden sword and 2 books. By mid-morning, they were ready. Tying his knapsack and strapping his sword, he held his mother's hand and followed his parents to meet the Twin Horns at the inn in Ashbur. They saw the party near the stables. His father hugged them, exclaiming, Reynolds, guys, I want you to meet my son, Arthur. Go on, Art. Introduce yourself. Giving a slight bow, Arthur introduced himself. Arthur, hello. My father has told me great things about his fellow Twin Horns members. Thank you for traveling with us to Xyrus. We'll be in your hands. Adam, ha ha ha, what is this? Such manners. Are you sure he's your son, Ray? The energetic spear wielder Adam responded. With bright red hair and a scar, he seemed like a talkative vagabond with perpetually laughing eyes. Suddenly, Arthur felt himself picked up. Angela. Oh, isn't he just too precious? You should be glad he doesn't look like you, Reynolds. Peeling his face from her gigantic breasts before suffocating, Arthur looked at the woman. Pretty, with a royal princess vibe, long blonde curled hair and radiant green eyes. Just as his face was about to enter the twin abyssal hills, a strong hand grabbed his knapsack. The Durden. Angela, you're hurting him. Arthur hung like a kitten. He looked at the giant, easily over 2 meters tall with a staff. Durden put him down gently. Arthur thought, a gentle giant. Can I ride on his shoulders? Durden had narrow eyes and slanted eyebrows giving an innocent look despite his size, completed by short, scruffy black hair. Dusting himself off, Arthur faced the woman who looked slightly younger. Jasmine Flamesworth. Straight black hair, half tied back, red half-open eyes, curt lips. She seemed brusque. Jasmine. She nodded slightly and turned away. Arthur thought, a woman of few words. How charming. he saw two short daggers strapped to her lower back. The last member, Helen Shard, patted his head and smiled charmingly. She looked sharp. Sharp eyes, perky nose, thin red lips, flat chest, shoulder-length hair tied back tightly. Radiating a charismatic vibe, clothed in light leather armor with bow and arrows, she reminded him of an elf until he saw her rounded ears. Arthur hopped onto the back carriage, reinforcing his legs with a little mana. He'd gotten the hang of mana reinforcement lately, though hadn't fully tested his capabilities to avoid giving his parents heart attacks. Directing mana felt more natural now. After the party finished loading necessities into the two carriages, they strapped in not horses, but domesticated mana beasts called skitters. These giant D-class lizards with spiked backs and powerful claws were more efficient and expensive than horses for mountain terrain. Let the journey begin. By nightfall, the distant mountain range seemed to have doubled in size. Arthur wondered how big it would be up close. He felt excited. They made camp near boulders, using fallen branches for a campfire. Arthur thought, "One thing I detest about this body is how much sleep I require. I slept most of the way and I still feel a bit sleepy." After setting up tents, his parents talked with the twin horns about old times. Helen sat beside Arthur and said nonchalantly, "Helen, I heard your pop say that you're some kind of genius mage. Is it true you already awakened?" Not knowing how to answer, Arthur just told her the truth. Arthur, yes. She began asking how he felt when he awakened and his mana core color. Curious ears perked up, and Adam said, "Adam, hey, Reynolds, do you mind if I test little Art?" His parents seemed hesitant, but trusting their old comrade, his father replied, "Reynolds, all right, but be careful. I haven't had the chance to teach him how to properly fight yet. We've just been doing light strength and mana exercises till now." Adam got up from his log seat, found a short stick he liked, and grinned. "Adam, come here, kid. Let's see what you're made of."